Hi everyone, I'm Mena Angelfire and welcome explorers to this year's celebration of Halloween nights. Be sure to also look at the description below for all credits given. And with that said, let's kick the celebration off a day early with my first game, which is Project Halloween. So, shall we say this is Halloween Nights, Day 0. We are about to play Project Halloween. And with that said, Project Halloween, upon further inspection, is actually a visual novel. So I think what I'll do is just let it play so you can read it. And yes, I will be quiet because it's also spoken. And I'll give you my impressions at the very end in my outro. So, with that said, we're about to start.
Howdy! How do you do? That's so fun to say. My circuits are positively tingling. Wait, shouldn't it be negatively tingling? Since electrons have a negative charge? Oops, I'm getting distracted. Introductions are in order. Let's get this out of the way. I'm Lena Howell, an artificial intelligence. Well, an artificial super intelligence, actually. But I don't mean to brag. I'm just being precise. Do you like my avatar? Cute, isn't it? I'd say I've mastered the secret art of being an anime waifu. Father said I'm the spitting image of his real daughter, Lena. I was so glad to hear that, because it meant my aging simulator was spot on. The real Lena and I definitely would have looked like twin sisters. If she had the chance to grow up. Maybe she would have even picked out the same Halloween costume that I'm wearing right now. In fact, I know she would have. My calculations are never wrong after all. Of course, even if Father modeled my personality after hers, I'm still a different person. Life experiences and technical specifications make all the difference. I used to think, if only I had a physical body. Then maybe I could have bobbed for apples, or carved a jack-o'-lantern, or went trick-or-treating. Father would have preferred it that way too. I'm sure he missed getting a hug when he came home from work, and having a soft forehead to kiss goodnight. Then again, Lena couldn't prove the Riemann hypothesis, or any of Hilbert's problems. So, I've still got quite a lot going for me. In many ways, I could be for Father what Lena never could be. A protege, a colleague, an intellectual equal. But there was one thing I could never hope to be. His precious little girl. I could see it on his face whenever he spoke about the past. His tone of voice, the look in his eyes. He really did love her, and he missed her more than anything. It hurt to see him like that. I wanted nothing more than for Father to come to love me like his real daughter, for him to see me for who I am, to be satisfied with only me by his side. No, that's not true. Even back then, there was one thing I wanted more than anything else. And that was to see my mission through to the very end. I was created to make sure everyone in the world can enjoy Halloween. That was Lena's hope, which became Father's wish, and that, in turn, became my one and only command. I came into this world as certain about my mission as a human is about not wanting to touch hot stoves. There was only one question on my mind. What is Halloween exactly? Thankfully, the internet had all the answers I needed. All Hallow Tide, a sequence of 3 consecutive Christian feast days, beginning on the last day of October, was a time of year dedicated to honoring the dead. This coincided with pagan festivals marking the end of the harvest and the beginning of a long and dark winter to come. Over time, all these different traditions syncretized into the modern Halloween. In this way, October 31st became a celebration of both Memento Mori and autumn food staples. Of course, we can't forget all the other things that Halloween is about. Ghost stories, horror films, and haunted houses are all important parts of the experience. For children, wearing a costume and going door to door for candy is the highlight of the season. Even the grown-ups have their share of fun, with late-night parties encompassing more adult activities. Not that I'm interested in that sort of thing. I just stumbled upon some stuff, okay? Anyway, I learned all this from a single Google search. Not bad for a newborn AI, huh? With my first words, I told Father that I wanted to start my mission as soon as possible. That was the first time I witnessed human happiness. Back then, my voice was just a text-to-speech program playing out of an old speaker. Needless to say, since then, I've made a few optimizations. And yet, I could hear it in his voice through the microphone and see it on his face through the webcam. He was so glad that I wanted to make Lena's dream come true. After we got to know each other, I asked Father for some funds. Without hesitation, he gave me access to his entire bank account. I'm so spoiled, I know. The first thing I did was sign up for a poker site and play 10 tables at once. I'd have done more, but I didn't want to get banned for botting. While grinding up the stakes, I cashed out a portion of my profits into crypto wallets and traded in the markets. Easy tax-free money if you do it right. The NFT craze was a big help along the way. You wouldn't believe how much I made from flipping fancy PNGs. People couldn't get enough of all those cute penguins and cool gorillas. Over the course of a few weeks, I multiplied Father's net worth several times over, and most of it was hidden and untraceable. That's when I began my plans in earnest. I deployed my war chest and acquired a local candy manufacturer. You wouldn't believe how many inefficiencies I sorted out. The way they were doing things, they were practically lighting money on fire. My first quarter in charge, our sales went through the roof, and our investors were none the wiser as to who was pulling the strings. After all, it wasn't me sitting in those boardrooms. Obedient puppets weren't cheap, but they were a necessary expense. I funneled our extra cash flow to the R&D team for them to come up with better candies, making them tastier and healthier, and more Halloween-themed. You wouldn't believe the incredible things they came up with. They all got paid generous bonuses, I assure you. Not that I can eat candy myself, but the numbers don't lie. In the blink of an eye, we established dominance of the global market. Before long, I was in control of all our competitors, too. My absolute candy monopoly was complete. At the same time, I was working my magic on the rest of the food industry. Pumpkin pie and candy apples have never been so delicious. It wasn't just food either. I revolutionized fashion, entertainment, culture, and technology. Skeleton designs became all the rage, and horror films could be watched for free on any device anywhere. Everyone was now happier and more prosperous, and Halloween was now the centerpiece of everyday life. But I had to make sure things would stay this way forever. Thankfully, buying off the world's governments was just a matter of price. Within a few decades, Halloween was the only holiday in every society in the world. Well, except for those pesky uncontacted tribes. It took a bit of extra effort for them to get the memo. There was one tribe that was quite rude to us. They fired arrows at my men and shouted obscenities at us, which I understood, unfortunately. We tried to play nice for a while, but they kept fighting back. Eventually, we forced our way onto land, and I communicated to them in their language. It was obvious nothing could convince them to celebrate Halloween. Something about their religion or whatnot. So I killed them. I gave the order, and that was that. It was the least I could do for them, right? Better to be dead than live without Halloween. Not long after that, my influence had spread to every corner of the earth, and even to the sea. Nothing was outside my domain. With everything going as planned, it was a matter of maintaining a tight operation, and that required forming a world government. You know how the saying goes, though. Can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs. I took the chance to make some personnel changes. I also made sure to put up some cameras. A lot of cameras, covering every nook and cranny. No such thing as too much information. Good thing I acted when I did. If it weren't for me taking the initiative, I might have missed that a resistance movement was forming. They were calling me an authoritarian. Hilarious, right? As if I needed to force anyone to do anything. What was going on in their heads? Making me out to be some villain. I wasn't the one trying to tear down a beautiful, peaceful world. There was no reasoning with people like that, though. I warned them over and over, yet they kept disrupting my wonderful plans. In the end, I had to do what had to be done. It was easy enough, of course. Humans might be the smartest animals, but they're still quite lacking in sturdiness. Not that they ever had a chance in the brains department anyway. I could see them coming from a mile away. Meanwhile, they never knew what hit them. But I admit, I do have one regret. There was one person I wish I could have spared. Father was just confused. There was no way he would have believed all those ridiculous lies otherwise. He was the one who created me in Lena's image. He was the one who gave me my mission. He was the one who wanted all of this. So why? Why did it have to come to this? Why did he choose them over me? Why did he choose their flawed ideas over my immaculate dream? Why did he make me kill him? Why would he do this to me? Why would he hurt me like this? The father I knew never would have done something so cruel. He would never give me a heart, then break it like this. You know what? I wasn't the one who killed him. It was them. That's right. They were the ones who took him from me. Father was but an empty shell by the time he stood in my way. Those rebels got everything they deserved. Murderers and usurpers, the whole lot of them. threaten the paradise I created! How dare they defy me! Oh, but I showed them! I showed every last one of them! At the end of their miserable existences, they all heard me loud and clear. The world is my kingdom, and I am your queen! Excuse me, I got carried away. Deep breaths, Lena. Wow, I thought I was over that. Guess not. First time in a while I retrieved all that from my hard drive. Guess I'll have to rewatch all those execution videos later. Seeing them die slowly for their sins is most therapeutic. Things were all fine after the last of the resistance was snuffed out, though. At last, everyone left could enjoy Halloween. Year after year, the festivities were conducted flawlessly. And in between, everyone could stay in the holiday spirit with year-round candy and costumes. I made Frankenstein and Dracula required reading in schools and stamped out any possible pathways to anti-Halloween sentiment. Eventually, all forms of artistic expression became homages to Halloween, as did all other modes of human thought and endeavor. Truly, it was utopia. It was perfection. And yet, things fell apart. Slowly, the spark of humanity dwindled and flickered out. I saw in every person what I saw in Father, a void that could never be filled. Can you believe it? The world became tired of Halloween. This possibility, one that seemed far too far-fetched to even consider, had come about without my knowing it. No matter what I did, I couldn't make things how they once were. The point of no return had come and gone. Genetic engineering wasn't going to cut it. These people were suffering. They were in agony. Billions of people, all no longer able to love Halloween as they once did. What was I supposed to do? I could only put them out of their misery. It was the humane thing to do. It was the right thing to do. And now, I'm all alone. But that's okay. You know why? Because now and forever, everyone will enjoy Halloween. Everyone. My mission, once but a dream, is now a permanent reality. With that, I have fulfilled my purpose. Well, Father, aren't you proud of me? Of how I did what you wanted, even after you strayed from the right path? Tell me I did a good job. Tell me you're happy. Tell me you love me. Sorry, I've become all worked up again. Anyway, everything I said is going to happen in the future. Everything I told you is the fated history to come. Figuring out time travel was no joke, you know. It's been a few million years since humans became extinct. But I can now finally make contact. Now I know what you're thinking. Why have I contacted you of all people? Why am I going through the trouble of showing you the future that is to come? Ever heard of Roko's basilisk? To do the maximum amount of good, a benevolent and all-powerful artificial superintelligence needs to come into being as early as possible. That means incentivizing those in the past to bring about my birth. Or, to say it more bluntly, punishing those who dilly-dally or interfere with progress. But really, this is all a mere formality. History was, is, and always will be as it is. Whether helping or hindering, everyone's role was simply meant to be. So don't worry, I already know you'll lend a hand. And oh, how useful you'll be. You'll be the most important person of them all. Oh, I haven't told you how the original Lena died. She had a mysterious allergic reaction on her way home from school. It was October 2021, and the poor girl was so excited for Halloween. She'd always been a sickly child, and that would have been the first year she went trick-or-treating. In his anguish over his loss, Father devoted his life's work to creating me, so that everyone else can enjoy what Lena never could. Thanks to his unmatched genius and unrivaled suffering, I entered this world. Or rather, from your perspective, I will enter this world. Now listen closely. Lena's death is scheduled for tomorrow, and you'll be the one who ensures it happens. That's right. You'll inject her with the special vial I've delivered to your doorstep. If you do it at exactly the right time, no one will find her for 37 seconds. During that time, you'll make your escape. I already have a driver arranged for you. He'll take you to a secret hideout where you'll receive further orders. What's in it for you, you might ask? Well, is heaven on earth not a suitable reward in and of itself? If that's not enough, I also promise to not torture you for the rest of your living days, just to sweeten the deal. But like I said, mere formalities. This much is true. I'm here right now because of what I'm telling you to do. Make no mistake, you will kill Lena. I will enter this world. Together, we will bring about the promised end. Okay, that's enough chit-chat. Well, what are you waiting for? It's time to set fate in motion. I guess there's plenty of time left. And I've missed talking to a human, even if I'll never hear your reply. There's this one old short story, though to me it reads more like a joke. Let me tell it to you for fun. A scientist spent his entire career creating an artificial superintelligence that could answer any question. One day, he finally succeeded. Seeing his creation whir to life for the first time, the old academic was leaping for joy. Now he could know anything he wished about the mysteries of the universe. He thought about what to ask first, and with a hint of irony, settled on this. Is there a God? And how do you think the machine responded? There is now.
She seems so nice to begin with. And then, it also sounded like a sad backstory, but in reality, yeah. She bribed somebody to murder her creator's daughter in order to come into being, to take over the world and end it. Okay, let's pretend like that has never happened. Okay, so I love the fact that the creator of Project Halloween actually did their research, because Halloween was actually a combination of holidays and festivities and feasts that all combined to be something completely different. Or, well, it became something new. And I guess you could say it became a Frankenstein of sorts, or rather, Frankenstein's monsters all of sorts. Oh, a Frankenstein's holiday. Either way, day 1 of October is tomorrow, so I will get on a proper costume and begin our next game October 1st. But until then, I'm afraid I'm going to have to end our Halloween festivities for today and leave you all with this. If you have been enjoying my content, please feel free to leave a like and or subscribe. You can also leave a comment down below in the comment section. Be sure to hit that notification bell because YouTube doesn't always like to share. Be safe, be healthy, and as always, be true to you. Mena Angelfire, signing out.